to care for us as I am caring for you. How very lovely it is to share with you in these moments of the transformation of the idea of body identity within our frame of light reference. The very simple notion of the occurrence of a transformation of body form being demonstrated by a mutual declaration in the message that we have received from a continuum of time that seems to have given us a reflection of ourself that was other than the return through his resurrection of mind, our search for Jesus of Nazareth. We're here together here in this advent of a great awakening, declaring to you that we intend to perform acts of story associations about our Savior, Jesus of Nazareth, and the story of his course in the miracles of your mind, in a dedication that the reflection of light that I will be offering you as a circumvention of my necessity to retain myself are going to reveal to me that as I look and peer about in this dimness of reflection of light, I'm searching for Jesus. Can we practice just for a minute? You want to practice? See, we're all searching for our Savior. One of the great directions that have beset man, I'm glad to hear you see that, and you, since the beginning of time, is that in the consciousness of our mind, we appear to be evidence of correspondence of ourself in our consciousness identity, where we receive reflections of light in a hologram of the light proceedings of this world as it appears within space-time, for which we search for solution to the problems of the consciousness of our mind that are contained in our mind, in our mind, in our mind. Ideas about what we are in the universe are contained in the mind of the consciousness of the human condition, of man's association with memories he holds in his mind about himself, in the idea that he appears to be in a space-time definition of what appears to be a variation of himself in reflected light, where he continues to search for a true identity of himself that appears to be outside of him. The entire teaching of the crucifixion and resurrection of my Savior, Jesus Christ, are nothing at all but an indication of my own individual consciousness necessity to recognize myself. To recognize myself. To recognize you. Because in the recognition of you will be the recognition of myself, of myself, of myself. In the story of the Course in Miracles, with the resurrection, in the search for Jesus of Nazareth, we will be telling you stories about particulars of your human condition, where under instructions you have been given, look, in the passion of the Christ, in the idea that somehow he was hung up under the cross. Somehow he suffered terribly in the excruciating pain of the idea of his body form and was subsequently laid into the tomb. Look with me. Now the adventure begins. Because included in the story of the crucifixion of him, look, cannot not be a story of his resurrection. Trust, if the story of his resurrection must be a part of the story of his crucifixion within a space-time identity of dark energy, it must be that in your search for him within this fabric of what appears to be light, say to me, Jesus must be somewhere around here. Well, was that him? Share with me. They call me the master teacher, obviously. I'm teaching A Course in Miracles through my own revelation of mind. Shall we share it together? It's based on my recognition of you. Do you see that? So what has happened within the species of man, within this little hologram of light, where outside of us is a whole universe of identity that we appear to search for. This is going to be a story about our search as Homo sapien, as a species of identity that has been limited in factoring of light to the idea of a repetition over and over again in my search within my own mind as my necessity to escape out into the universe from this bondage of time that besets me in the nature of my necessity to remain within that framework of body form and suffer another excruciating death formulation. Here's the entire teaching of the message from Jesus. First of all, he's resurrected. Okay? I can't get anywhere with you if you're going to teach the passion of the Christ in the idea of crucifixion, unless you're going to teach somewhere that he resurrected. Now, the idea that he has left this frame of time in what you term the organization of reflected light, of cause and effect relationship, can best be defined, perhaps, as an idea within the science idea of communication. Let's practice together, Jesus. Say to me, his quantum reappearance. His quantum reappearance would have to be the idea, quantum being the immediate establishment of the totality of a relationship of cause and effect. In other words, God. In other words, quantum is nothing but a moment of the complete identity of yourself in relationship with your apparent duplicity from space and time. It's an admission that it's possible for you to recognize our Savior in this search that's going on in this story of A Course. And you, I assure you, have been in this search for a long time, with the new evidence that following his crucifixion, he's back. He's back in time with us. This is the master teacher now. This is a demonstration of many, many, many of us now, in the description I just gave you of Jesus, are aware that we have an assignment of a mission to carry his message in the certainty that he has reappeared within the time cycle to offer us that certainty within the procedures of our own mind. The idea that I will be utilizing within that frequency of light, the message of saviorship from Jesus, would be very evident to you, since the testimony of Jesus within the factoring of the crucifixion included his resurrection.